Hello, I am Gently ASMR, and today I will be running through some ocean-related trivia. So I encourage you to follow along and relax as I go through some interesting facts about the ocean and the creatures within. So, why don't I get started? So, the first question that I have is, how many hearts do octopi have? Is it A, 1 heart, B, 8 hearts, C, 2 hearts, or D, 3 hearts? I'll give you a few seconds to think about that one. How many hearts does an octopus have? A, 1, B, 8, C, 2, or D, 3? The answer is D, 3. They have 3 hearts. Well, 1 heart is responsible for circulating the blood throughout the body. Octopi have 2 other hearts that are dedicated towards the gills. The extra blood provided to the gills helps an octopus pick up more oxygen. So, let's move on to the second question, which I think will also be about the magnificent octopus. So, a octopus is a many-hearted creature, but what about its brain? How many brains does an octopus have? Is it A, 9 brains, B, 2 brains, C, 1 brain, or D, 16 brains? How many brains could one octopus contain? Again, that is A, 9, B, 2, C, 1, or D, 16? Ready for the answer? It is A, 9 brains. Octopi have 1 brain that controls their organs, and 8 brains that individually control the tentacles. That's right. Octopi are some bizarre creatures with lots of extra organs compared to you and I. But yes, each of the octopus's arms has its own brain controlling it, which all correspond with the main brain. let's go on to the next question. So, the next question that I have is, how does a dolphin sleep underwater? Is it A, they don't sleep underwater? B, it only sleeps near highly oxygenated sea grass? C, it uses half of its brain to send it to the surface for air? Or is it D, dolphins sleep near underground oxygen vents? Let's go over those options one more time. A, a dolphin never sleeps. B, a dolphin sleeps near highly oxygenated seagrass. C, half of its brain is used to send it to the surface. Or D, dolphins sleep near underwater oxygen vents. Time for the answer. It is C. The dolphin uses half of its brain to sleep and half of its brain to stay alert for predators and send it to the surface to breathe when need be. After about 2 hours of being asleep, this process will reverse and the other half of its brain will sleep while the other half sends it to the surface. So the dolphin's full brain is able to sleep over a full night. So let's go on to the next question. So, how many eyes does a box jellyfish have? Is it A, 1 eye, B, 10 eyes, C, 0 eyes, or D, 24 eyes? Again, how many eyes does a box jellyfish have? Is it A, 1, B, 10, C, 0, or D, 24? Okay, time for the answer. The answer is 24 eyes. Answer D. Box jellyfish have no brain, no blood, no spine, and no gills, but it does have 24 eyes each to help them hunt their prey. Next. How long can a leatherback sea turtle go underwater without taking a breath? Is it A, 5 minutes, B, 15 minutes, C, 60 minutes or 1 hour, or is it D, 85 minutes? Those options, once again, for how long a leatherback sea turtle can go without taking a breath. That's A, 5 minutes, B, 15 minutes, C, 1 hour, and D, 85 minutes. The answer is D, 85. Leatherback sea turtles are the best reptile divers in the world and are capable of diving of depths up to 4,000 feet. Pretty impressive for a little turtle. Let's go on. Next up, what is unusual about the barrel-eye fish's eyes? Is it A, there are 6 eyes all in a row? B, their eyes are shaped like barrels? C, their eyes are located inside of their translucent heads? Or D, they grow their own special lenses that allow them to see through cloudy water? So, what is so unique about the barrel-eye fish's eyes? Is it A, 6 eyes in a row? B, their eyes are shaped like barrels? C, their eyes are located inside their transparent heads? Or is it D, they have grown their own specialized lenses to help them see in cloudy water? The answer is C. Their eyes are located inside of their clear heads, as the barrel-eye fish is quite a strange looking creature, and it usually looks straight up to look for food, but is capable of rotating its eye to be in the direction of its prey. So, let's continue. Next question. What is a nickname for the hagfish? Is it A, witchworm? B, snotfish? C, slinky doodle? Or D, ghostfish? So, a nickname for the hagfish. Is it the witchworm, the snotfish, the slinky doodle, or the ghostfish? The correct answer is B, snotfish. The hagfish is an eel-looking fish, and when threatened, it secretes a slippery slime that helps it get out of sticky situations. Yes, that is the hagfish, also known as the snotfish. Moving on. How many eggs does a female ocean sunfish have in her body? Is it 500 eggs? Is it 1,000 eggs? Is it 50,000 eggs? Or is it 300 million eggs? The ocean sunfish. A, 500 eggs. B, 1,000 eggs. C, 50,000 eggs. Or D, 300 million eggs. The correct answer is D, 300 million. ocean sunfish carries the most eggs of any sea creature, and it is also the heaviest bony fish in the world. It can grow to be as heavy as a rhinoceros, but only a small proportion of the eggs that she lays will grow to be this size. Let us continue. Next up, the whale shark is the largest shark in the world. So what does it eat? Is it A, exclusively bluefin tuna, B, deep water jellyfish, C, plankton and small fish, or D, other sharks? What is the diet of the whale shark? Is it A, exclusively bluefin tuna, B, deep-water jellyfish, C, plankton and small fish, or D, other sharks? The answer is C, plankton and small fish. Despite being the largest of the sharks, it is a fairly peaceful and docile creature who is actually a filter feeder like whales, giving it its name. So next up, the size of a blue whale's heart is it A, surprisingly small, only that of a beach ball, B, the size of a recliner chair, C, the size of a living room couch, or is it D, the size of a car? The size of a blue whale's heart, is it A, a beach ball, B, a recliner, C, a sofa, or D, a car? The answer is D, a car. Everything about a blue whale is supersized. The blue whale is the largest creature to have ever lived on the earth. As a newborn, a blue whale weighs 6,000 pounds and gains 8 pounds every hour as it's growing. They are truly gigantic creatures. Let's continue. So, the wolfish can eat hard-shelled creatures because of A, its mouth secretes acids that dissolves hard shells, B, it swallows its prey whole without chewing, C, it holds its prey in its mouth until the creature dies and is able to be sucked out of the shell, or D, it has long, sharp fangs. So the wolfish, does it secrete acid to dissolve hard shells? B, does it swallow the prey whole without chewing? Does it, C, hold prey in its mouth until it is able to be sucked out easily? Or D, does it have fangs and crushing teeth? Well, you might be able to guess this one by its name, but the answer is D. The wolfish has long, sharp fangs. The wolfish even has teeth in its throat to continue crushing up shellfish as it's eating. Although these teeth get worn down very easily, and a new set has to be regrown every year. So why don't we move on to the final question that I have for you today. Okay, so for my final question, how can you tell if an anglerfish is a male? Is it that A, the males are larger than the females? Is it B, the males have iridescent stripes while the females are plain? Is it C, the males are tiny and weak compared to the females? Or is it D, the males have a lighted lure on their heads while females do not? To determine a male anglerfish, is it A, larger than the female? B, does it have iridescent stripes while females are plain? C, is it tiny and weak compared to a female? Or D, does it have a lighted lure on its head while females do not? The answer is C. The males of the species are simply puny compared to the gigantic, intimidating female. During the reproduction process of an anglerfish, the male actually bites on to the female and then fuses with her in its whole body and becomes a part of the female in a truly bizarre mating ritual. So, how many questions did you get right? Let me know in the comments if there are any that stumped or surprised you. I thank you very, very much for joining me for today's little ocean trivia quiz. And I sincerely hope that you have a very, very good